Betty.
Am I awake? You awake?
No, that's why we're having coffee.
Good morning, fine folks.
Good morning.
Yes, it's Friday. Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Chat with Chickens. Even though we're not sitting out by the chicken coop, which we rarely do in the wintertime anyway. Every now and again you'll see us out there. We'll randomize it.
Well, we get background noise because Maya decided to have her breakfast right now.
Yeah. Hey, it's real life. Right?
Yeah.
She must be thirsty. Are you done, Maya? Are you done, girl?
She's gonna come slobber all over you now.
Yes.
Nice wet mouth.
You're good. Okay, get down.
Beautiful morning so far.
Oh, the sunrise was gorgeous.
Yeah, getting some sunlight going on, a little bit of blue skies, and then we hit some clouds that we weren't expecting to come in yet. They're kind of rolling in.
Yeah, because it says it's supposed to be sunny today.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how the day goes. It's still pretty early. I mean, well, for me anyways.
For him, yeah.
Yeah, today, we've got to make a last minute run to town. That bad weather's supposed to be coming. I mean, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
We're not freaked out. If we didn't make it to town, we would still be fine. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of those, hey, we'll run in, we'll get a few of the things comfort-wise that, hey, we've been needing to get this. And,
mainly half and half. Anything else on the list I could wait for?
Well, we've got coffee ground or beans to grind, mm-hmm. but we don't have the, pre-ground right now, so need to go get some of that if we're going to be here for a couple days possibly, because that's the trick here. I mean, obviously, we both lived up north, grew up there. Snow and ice and wintertime is not anything new to us. Mm-mm. But go on. Yeah, that kind of stuff isn't new. Like, we're not unaccustomed. We have the clothing. Like, we would stay warm. Everything would be fine. Mm-hmm. But the state of Arkansas and most of these southern states, that's why it becomes such a big deal. They are not prepared for winter times in this aspect.
Weather and all that, so. Yeah.
The roads, if you've ever traveled through this area or anything like that, it's hilly. There's nothing flat. And typically at the bottom of every big hill you have to go down
is a curve. Is
a sharp curve. Like a, hey, slow down, do 15, 10 mile an hour or whatever. And I can only knock it up to, it's probably in the long run a cost savings for the state in the fact that they don't believe in guardrails around here. There's a few, but not like, you go up north and anything that has more than a 3-foot drop off the side, it's got a guardrail on it. Down here, they're just like, don't be dumb enough to run off the road. So
yeah, but no, we'll get prepared for this. We've got some projects we're working on. I'm going to be editing quite a bit today. I think, we talk a lot on the main channel about divide and conquer. And we love to work together. We prefer to work together. But there are just some days where our expertise are needed to be divided so that we can accomplish whatever it is that we need to get done.
Well, and there's taskers, like editing is the perfect example right now where only one person can edit at a time. Like that's, and with that new program that she runs now, there's only one person gonna edit. I've looked at that thing and my brain melts. The old program I was able to manage and I did some videos, not very many, but a couple. And that was reasonable. This new one, no. And I know there's a lot of people give me crap because they're like, dude, I can do it, you can. And I imagine if I sat down long enough with the patients,
it's a challenge. I mean, Premiere Pro is a beefy system, but yeah, we're gonna divide and conquer today for the most part. I know that I've got some homework to do. If you guys were present on our live over at White Rock Homestead last night, we got on the topic of going back keto, and there's been tons of people reaching out to me, wanting to kind of join that. And so here on the Coffee Chat channel, we're going to start delving into, I don't even know if I would call it keto anymore, because for me, it's more about clean eating, natural eating, and reducing those simple carbs and sugars. So clearly I won't be making a lot of bread on that keto section, but I think I'll make a playlist going for the keto stuff, and maybe even do some lives or some of my favorite meals that I made as keto. I was keto 14 months straight, never cheated, and went off of it for an anniversary dinner and was like, yeah, no, I ain't gonna go back. But I felt better, and I did better when I cut out the carbs and the sugars. So we're gonna have fun with that. I think.
Well, and it'll be good, especially with that discussion we had on the live. Was the hardest part of any diet, honestly. But it seems like the keto or something like that, where it's a very specific, is still trying to make food that tastes good or simple,
Who
right?
are you talking to?
That is that I know that was kind of the challenge when you first started it last time. Was okay, instead of just eating this constant bland, flavorless, or finding overly complicated recipes, and
yeah,
just being able to simplify them, and yet it tastes good, and you talked a little bit about getting there is a tracker app that helps you track what foods you can and can't eat and stuff, and after a little while, that's how she had started it out. It was tracking everything, but then you figure it out. You kind of you start to know.
I mean, the app is good for holding yourself accountable and to get in the rhythm. And for me, it worked really well. But then I got so good at it, I just knew, and you'll get to that point. But if you want to be a part of that, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and click notifications. And I'll try to start doing stuff outside of just our coffee chats in that realm. So if it's of interest to you, join us. It's always more fun when you're doing something with other people, especially other people that you know. And however serious you want to take it, however lax you want to take it, or you just might, maybe you want to go carnivore, but some of the things still cross over and apply. So join us on that, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, and I think it'll be fun. I think, obviously we'll create its own playlist so that it'll be easy, If you didn't find it right away, you could go back and be able to watch. Plus, sometimes, you need to watch to make a recipe, a couple different times to figure out, okay, because that's, I think, the hard part for you, too, is most of your main meals that you had made were the same every single time, but we've talked about that before, is you don't really measure. No. You're a grab and throw, and which it always comes out amazing. It really does. Seasoning to taste and that kind of thing.
Sorry, guys. Swami's making food.
It shouldn't be.
Or something.
Coffee.
We were just laughing this morning that, had we known when we built the tiny house that there'd be 5 people living in the tiny house. Everyone has their own bedrooms, but everyone uses the tiny house, and so we would have never made one this small. If that was the case.
I don't know if I'd say we wouldn't make it this small. Like I think there's portions of the house that could be bigger. I think we would have made. I guess it would be bigger, but it would be a bigger kind of common room. Whether that been the living room or the kitchen or something like that, probably could have been bigger. Knowing that more people were here, but I like to go back and think about that conversation we had with Uncle Ron.
But that's not the reality in which we're living. And yes, it would. I get it. If it was just us on the ridge, this would be perfectly adequate. So I would say probably before the year's out, look for us to be expanding. So Yeah, but I get what you're saying about that concept that, you know, you build your house for yourselves because you only have guests, you know, every couple months or at holidays or Christmas time, but that's just not our reality. So we need to make accommodations so that we have a little bit more room.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't even know where to go with it, to be honest with you. We've talked about what our options are of expanding this, Vice building the other. You know, we still want to do the main log cabin over on the other side of the property. But that's going to be a while. And so we've got to be able to find a functionable way to live and navigate because everybody, you know, we've got two of the kids and Aunt Swami here. They all have their own, I guess you look at it right now as a bedroom. Even though Jenna really, she's in the Cougar, she has everything in the Cougar. Like we lived in it for a couple years, you know, but she still only uses it basically as a glorified. She gets a bedroom with a bathroom. Yeah. Right. She's got the bougie upgrade as to where Swami and Jake, they've got to either go to the Cougar or come down here. Of course, right now, with the weather being colder and we have unlimited hot water from the on-demand. Yeah. So everybody showers down here.
And I guess it's just kind of you're getting to see it as it happens, right? We could have cut. We could have, you know, stopped the video recording and let her do her thing. But that's not real. Like, this is real. You're getting to see and experience some of our, I wouldn't say frustrations with it, but just our lack of...
Well, it's a challenge. The challenge of living... I'll even go, like, I guess that's how I'd talked about it yesterday a little bit, was doing the multi-generational living on a property, which is becoming more and more...
common.
Yes, common.
And we love that, and we love everybody here, so don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, no, but it's we also like to give, you know, I mean, obviously we're giving you guys every little bit, the good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah, we don't want to romanticize it as being something that, you know, you're going to be carefree, because there are growing pains and there are frustrations along with it, and you're getting to see it here, you know. Just like the other night. Okay, it might be too much information here, folks, so close your ears if you don't want to hear or get my innuendos. We are literally getting ready to go to bed. Literally, and boop, in walks Jake. You know, you don't have those freedoms, and it can be hindering. So I think setting up some more common spaces, and I think it'll happen, like once we get, you know, the outdoor kitchen done, it will be enclosed at some point. So, you know, maybe that's where everyone goes to make coffee, or when they each get their homes going to a point where they have those amenities in their cabins. Maybe then it won't be such a, you know...
and that's something like we've talked about here recently was, you know, everybody having their own space of, hey, you're making your own meals, you're doing all this, like, hey, maybe once a week or twice a week or something we come together, you know, because you've made a big casserole or a big dinner for everybody. But other than that, it's like, hey, you have your house with your stuff. You know, use your own shower, use your own stove, and do those types of things, and that's part of the growing that we have right now. And you know,
I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, no.
But
and it makes it difficult because, like, Jake and Jenna, they work nights
and enormous amounts of hours.
Yeah,
so they are just always in passing and coming and going.
Right, and then Swami's started working now, and you know, but she works during the day, so I mean that's a normal shift of, hey, get up, have some coffee, and then, you know, she's gone during the day. The kids are here, but they're sleeping. Like, we'll see them sometimes. I mean, we didn't get to see Jenna this morning.
No, because With her position, they're short on second shift in her position. She works nights. And so she's literally, there's days when she's working both second and third shift. Or she'll go in half of second shift. Or like, you know, tonight she's clearly not going to work this weekend, or she's not working third shift tonight. So she's going to go in and work all of second shift. So that girl's just picking up, you know, boatloads of hours. But,
yeah.
And then it always stifles me kind of a little bit. You know, like the one day the mill, the sawmill is literally right at the head of her bed.
Yeah.
But we're not going to stop our projects. Is it rude? Is it not rude? Can she wear earplugs? Probably. And so it's all those little things. Yes, you know, we've said we love our little complex and our little compound we're building here with family, but we don't want you to think that you'll never have like little issues like that.
Yeah, and it is what it is. I mean, it's, you know, they got the jobs and are working the third shift to where they're sleeping during the day, and for the most part, I mean, honestly, I think the only time that I've had either one of them say something was Jake, and he wasn't sure if he was dreaming or if he really did hear the tractor running around. And I'm like, no, it was really running around. I mean, I don't drive it right by their place and rev it up really loud. You know, I try to be somewhat conscious, but like she said, we're not going to stop our projects. Like, we're trying to be considerate, but,
Yeah.
you know, and the other part is they're young. They can recover a whole lot quicker than we can, and we've got to get our stuff done. So, and they know that. I mean, I don't think that's really been a major issue, but it's something that, you know, if you guys are looking at, or anybody out here is looking into doing something like what we're doing, those are the things to really think about and consider. Because, yeah, it's not all just sunshine and rainbows.
I'm going to title this video Hot Mess Mornings.
You mean a normal morning around here?
I mean, this video's been like all over the place. Like, we're barely able to even get it started. We're just like, you know.
I still haven't totally figured out. I mean, we talked at the beginning of the video about divide and conquer. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah,
Hot Mess Friday.
I guess it all determines on whether the tractor's going to start this morning or not.
And, you know, it's funny because, like, we always say on these videos, like, we don't set a script, right? We don't even discuss beforehand what we're actually going to talk about. We just hit the camera and go roll. Most of the time that works in our favor, and we come up with something quirky and fun and enlightening and, you know, but then, like, days like today where we're just like, we're a hot mess. So, as always, you get to see it here first.
Oh, I got the bottom of the coffee and all the...
You want more?
No, I was just looking and I'm like, what's in my...
Should we read your tea leaves? Except it's coffee beans.
I don't think it works the same.
No.
No.
Here, it says, you will accomplish a lot today on the homestead in Tara's absence.
Was that an extreme, subtle way of
mean...
cracking that whip?
The coffee beans don't lie.
Oh, you're saying because I drank the coffee, now I've got the energy to go find something to do.
No, I mean, they're saying that. So they don't lie.
I love you.
I love you. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, guys, this is, like you said, this is
your life.
This is our mostly normal morning of... We fight through the fog of waking up and functioning and then go, what's on the agenda? Because, and honestly, that's, as crazy it is. I mean, think back to, you know, prior to us getting together, and especially prior to us living together, how structured, like, your life was.
I was very structured.
Very planned out. Like, she knew what she was doing, like, months ahead of time, if not a year or two. Like, she had this mapped out. And it was actually kind of funny because when we had first got together, there was a lot of those covered, because we would plan to, say, go have a dinner with friends or even just a visit, because we were living 2.5 hours apart. So she, we're on the phone or through text messages, and she's like, okay, so what are we going to do on this day? And what are we doing on that day? Like, she was trying to map out the day, not quite down to the hour, but a relative.
Well,
and I'm like, we'll find out when we wake up. And she's like, no, that doesn't work for me. And
a lot of it, though, it was Jenna and Jake get their overtime consumption, honestly. They grew up watching me work multiple jobs, up to 4 at a time. And when we first got together, I was pulling boatloads of hours. Not only did I have my normal nursing job, I also worked agency. And so I literally would have like an hour in between shifts to get to my next assignment. And so I had to plan out, because if there was something that we wanted to do, I couldn't pick up hours. And if I wasn't going to pick up hours, that affected my bottom line. And so I had to have it planned out, and I had to make sure that I could afford to take that time off. It was just, I became so regimented, and I worked very regimented as a nurse also. Like, it was, I don't know. So yeah, I guess going back full circle, the willy-nilliness of it, I'm not 100% comfortable with. Usually, like, what I've gotten used to kind of trying to do is set the stage of the night before. Like, when we're just kind of sitting there chilling, like, okay, what's the game plan for tomorrow? Sometimes I get a response. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. And then which kind of was last night. And I asked him this morning, okay, what's the game plan? Well, I don't know. I just want to finish this cup of coffee. And I'm like, like.
But that's, I mean, I guess the difference, like, we've had talked with a lot of our friends, and it's the same way, right? You get one that's very regimented, one that's all willy-nilly. And I think that we have a really good combo.
We do.
To where I've become a little bit more regimented than I was before, because, before us, I didn't know I was doing 5 minutes ahead of time. And then, but you've lacked a little bit, or, come down on the very strict regimented. Because I think you need to find a good balance between the two.
Yeah.
Because what I've seen, and it's not even just with you, like, I've seen it with a lot of people that are very, very regimented, and they want to plan everything out, is if something in that timeline, goes in, and if you've got a 10-step plan for the day, and you get to step 3, and all of a sudden something didn't work right, the other 7 are done. Like, and your day is shot, because now you're so worked up that number 3 didn't work, as to where I'm like, hey, fine, okay, well, let's move to number 4. And I think that's where we both have come into now, is, hey, we'll have a 10-step program for the day. If we get to 3 or 4...
With a lot of detours and bypasses.
Yeah, like, it's one of those that... But we don't do it, I think of the game like Phase 10, right? We do the Phase 10, you got to get all 10 phases. It's a card game we love to play. And they have a different version out now to where you can pick which phase instead of doing them in numerical order. And I think that's where we're at now, is kind of one of those...
Pick your phase?
Yeah, we're hey, we've got these 10 steps we need to do before the end of the day. But we're not going to do them in numerical order. They're going to happen as they happen. And
well, I think that I will concede that I have become a little bit more willy-nilly. But there are some hard and fast things that I still have to, OCD, I don't know what you want to call it. Repetition for me is comfort. Routine is comfort. So, we wake up at different times for a reason. We've talked about this. I always start the coffee before I go to the bathroom. Like, unless it's like an exact emergency, but like I have to do these steps in the morning. And so I'll get all of that, get my steps out of the way, preferably before he wakes up, because when he wakes up in the process of those,
it's entertaining though. It honestly is, because she's a little grumpy and a little snappy and snarky, but I just giggle because I find it so cute that it's like something as simple as, the coffee pot handle. Like, and it's not that it causes issues, but it's one of those, like, I guess using the example is, no, the coffee pot handle goes on the left. Why is it on the right?
No, it goes on the right.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's funny because it's so
it always
easy.
Goes on the right.
It's so easy in the morning when she's doing that, and then I could just get up and be like, and it throws her, and then she's like, wait a minute, what's going on? And yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I make no apologies for where it comes from. I don't know where it comes from. I'm sure you could shrink my brain in every psychological way, shape, form, and fashion and find all kinds of trauma that have put me in this position where that's the way I am. I don't care. It is just the way I am. And I acknowledge it. I know I'm quirky, and I know that...
And it works perfect for us. Like, honestly, I wouldn't change anything about it. Like, I'm not... I guess I was picking on you a little bit, but it's not one of those, like, a complaint or nothing. Like, no.
Yeah.
And we both have talked about this, we love our life. Like, there's changes to things around us that we want to make, right? A little bit bigger common area, and making accommodations a little more comfortable, and improvements to gardens, just the standard things that you're going to look at whether you're on a homestead or you're just in a home. And so, but I wouldn't change none of it, because like I said, it's as quirky as your things in the morning. I love every bit of that, right? Because it makes waking up so refreshing to know that.
I'll remind you that one next time you wake up and you interrupt my stuff, and then you get all butthurt. It's funny because I'll be like, once I'm past and I've completed all the steps and I've done everything that needs done, then I can human, right? And then I'll be like, are you mad at me? And he's like, I'm just trying to stay out of your way. And I'm like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, you don't wake a sleeping bear. I didn't want attacked, but so I think with that, all this random wisdom, wrap your head around this one, guys. Just,
I know it was really slow to start, but we were slow to start today.
We're gonna have to go. We'll have to watch the analytics on this one and see how many times people had to, like, what did they just say? What? I'm so no, you're not confused.
No,
it's
what's
not
probably
your
going to
brain
happen
fog.
is, like, people are going to drop out within the first 2 minutes going, they don't even know what they're talking about.
Wow, but those that are staying till right now are going to get all the good, juicy bits.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. We normally have a little bit.
But we've had stuff coming out. So the main channel, the White Rock Homestead, if you're not, if you're just finding us here, we've been kind of getting that lately too, was people are finding our coffee chat before they even find our main channel. But today's Friday. So tomorrow a video will drop.
Tuesday a video will drop.
And then Tuesday we're working on getting back into that rhythm, guys.
Tuesday, Saturdays.
Yep.
And then our lives on Thursdays.
Right.
So with maybe extra ones getting thrown in, because I may put out some collaboration videos on their own. Normally we do collaborations as a joint, not a dedicated. But I've got to get some out, and I don't want our normal videos to all include collaborations, right? So I may just put out commercials and throw those out on different days so that they're not on the normal Tuesday, Saturday. So, now that we're home, we're getting back into the groove of things.
And it is amazing to be home.
I know, it is. So, hopefully it'll be business as usual, folks. All right, now get to work. The coffee beans have said their piece. And
here she goes, guys. Dang it.
Peace out from the ridge.
Later.